Hello and welcome to News Cycle here on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edikan Michael. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on NACOM South, with its parameters showing on your screen. And now the details of the news. President Bola Tinubu has issued a directive to reduce the size of Nigeria's official delegation to the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly meeting holding in New York, United States this September. Tinubu's Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, revealed the directive in Abuja during a one-day retreat organized by the State House Management for heads of government agencies under its supervision. The Chief of Staff said that during the recent protests, there were concerns raised about reduction in the costs of governance, which has partly influenced the government's decision. Around two former governors of Ogun State, Ibukunle Amosun and Benga Daniel, have vowed to support federal government efforts to recover the national assets seized by the French court. In 2007, Ogun State government had entered into a joint venture agreement with Songshan and another company to create the Ogun Free Trade Zone Company. However, in the first half of 2016, the agreement between the parties broke down, leading to Songshan filing lawsuits in Nigeria federal and state courts to seek reinstatement of its contractual right, which failed. After taking the case before the French court, the company was awarded damages. The court prohibited Nigeria from moving or selling 3 presidential jets until the Chinese firm was paid a sum of $74.5 million awarded by the court. And now to Bauchi State, the ruling People's Democratic Party in Bauchi has won all 20 local government chairmanship seats in the Saturday, August 17 local government elections. The executive chairman of Bauchi State Independent Electoral Commission, Ahmed Makama, announced the result last night at his office following the conclusion of the exercise. However, the All Progressive Congress has rejected the result, describing them as fraudulent. Makama had declared the result, stating it was based on the powers vested in him by the relevant electoral laws as executive chairman of the State Independent Electoral Commission. Away from that, the Nigeria Union of Pensioners said some retirees are still receiving 500 naira as monthly pensions in the country. Secretary of the Union in Kaduna State, Alsan Mosa, described the condition of the returnees as pathetic, saying that most of the affected retirees were in precarious conditions. It is reported that what's affected are pensioners in most of the southern and oil-producing states, in spite of getting each allocation from the Federation account. Human rights organization Amnesty International says over 1,000 bad governance protesters are currently in prison custody nationwide. Following the recent hunger protests, the protests which were held between August 1st and 10th, turned violent in some parts of the country, with report of looting and vandalism in some states. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betukun, announced that the police arrested some of the sponsors of the rioters who hosted foreign flags and called for a change of government in states such as Kano, Kaduna, and Zamfara, among others. And our troops of the Nigerian Army have thwarted a terrorist attack on the Saulawa community in the Beningari local government area of Kaduna State. The troops who were on patrol had declared Madrod and Gade village before making contact with the terrorists. A statement by the Nigerian Army says the terrorists engaged the troops in a gunfight, noting that 2 terrorists were killed and weapons as well as 11 motorcycles were recovered after the operation. The police in Enugu State have confirmed the kidnapping of 3 students of the State College of Health Technology, Oji River, in the Oji River local government area of the state. In a viral video, some people who claim to be residents of the area raised the alarm that some students of the college had been kidnapped, alleging that the authorities had kept silent over the incident. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betukun, has dispatched additional detectives to Benue State to aid in the rescue of the abducted medical student. 20 medical students from the University of Maiduguri and the University of Jos traveling to Enugu were kidnapped along the Tukpo-Enugu Expressway. The students were said to be on their way to their Federation of Catholic Medical and Dental Student Annual Convention in Enugu when they were abducted. able to go out that the deployment of tactical operatives and assets, including helicopters, drones, and tactical vehicles, to ensure the swift rescue of the kidnapped students. And now the national chairman of All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, has distanced himself from a poster circulating on social media that claims he will contest for the presidency in the 2027 election, with Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State as his running mate. A poster bearing pictures of Ganduje, adorned in blue, Babariga as the APC presidential candidate, and Uzodinma in white attire and a red cap as his running mate, is captioned, "The winning theme 2027, vote APC 2027 for Nigeria's prosperity and human development." In a statement issued by spokesman Edwin Olufa in Abuja, Ganduje dismissed the poster suggesting he plans to run for president in 2027 under the party's platform. A Vietnam-born businessman, Paul Madagua, has been arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. Madagua was apprehended after testing positive for ingesting cocaine. A statement by the spokesperson of the agency, Femi Babafemi, confirmed that he excreted a total of 88 wraps of cocaine, weighing 1.710 kilograms. Around to Kano, Governor Haba Yusuf deserted the State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate an alleged contract award the 44 local government councils of the state. The governor also denied knowledge of the contract, said to have been recently awarded to one Musa Gaba Kwankwaso, who is believed to be the brother of the leader of Kwankwaso movement, Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso. A US-born filmmaker and the content creator Bello Galandanchi had released a video alleging that Kano state government had directed all 44 local government councils to pay 10 million naira each for the supply of drugs, which was allegedly awarded to one company and owned by Musa Gaba Kwankwaso. Tribal State Governor Agu Kevas has called on journalists in the country to maximize the use of digital technology to enhance the efficiency of their jobs in a fast-changing media landscape. Kevas made the call while declaring open the 2024 News Summit of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria in Jalingo, the state capital. Represented by his deputy, Aminu Agali, the governor noted that journalists need to embrace the opportunities presented by rapid technological advancement and the social media to enhance efficiency in news and information dissemination. Away from that, the federal government of Nigeria commissioned a 40 kilowatt peak solar hybrid mini grid in the community Gwagwalada area council in the federal capital territory, Abuja. This initiative, executed through the Rural Electrification Agency under the Rural Electrification Fund, MSU, provide clean, affordable, and reliable electricity to undeserved communities in the country. Minister of State for Federal Capital Territory, Dr. Maria Mahmoud, represented by a special advisor, Michael Bauer, underscored the project's potential to drive socio-economic transformation in the community. Governor of Gombe State, Muhammadu Yahya, says the state has a standing committee on the new national minimum wage. Last July, the governor had questioned the viability of his state paying the newly approved 70,000 naira. Yahya made these known in a press statement signed by the Director General of Press Affairs, Gombe Government House, Ismaila Misili, following a courtesy call to Vice President Kashim Shettima. Sokoto State Governor Hamid Aliyu has called on communities in Godolego government area to assist the authorities with relevant information, especially intelligence gathering, to defeat the bandits terrorizing the area. Aliyu gave the charge while addressing the people of the area who came out to receive him on the thank-you visit to the area. He explained that securing the area is a collective responsibility, hence the need for all hands to be on deck. And now to Jigawa, the Jigawa State government has called on the federal government to come to the aid of flood victims in the state, as no fewer than 3,834 persons have been displaced by the disaster. Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Aruna Mariga, made the call in Dusseldorf, the state capital, while speaking to newsmen on the update of the flood, which ravaged 12 local government areas. He noted that the call was necessary in order to ameliorate the sufferings and hardship being experienced by the numerous communities in the 12 affected local government areas. And now health commissioners from 36 states of the country and the Mandate Secretary of Health of the Federal Capital Territory have commended the leadership of Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) in light of the recent outbreaks of cholera and other diseases. The health commissioners, under the auspices of the Nigerian Health Commissioners Forum, made this known in a communique issued at the end of the third quarterly meeting in Abuja. They, however, called for continued support to the state. You're watching News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When the news cycle returns, federal government moves to subsidize electricity for universities and hospitals. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. You're still watching News Cycle here on Global Television. Many thanks for staying with us. And out to business, the federal government says it will start subsidizing electricity, universities and health institutions under Band A feeders. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adeleke, disclosed this in Ibadan, Oyo State. He however noted that the government will not subsidize private businesses operating in these universities and hospitals. After the federal government had removed subsidies from customers categorized as Band A and upgraded their daily electricity supply to a minimum of 20 hours daily, universities and public hospitals lamented that their energy bills had skyrocketed. Along the immediate past, President of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, Edwin Ebiti, says the institute will introduce fresh barriers to entry in a sector which is said is struggling with low penetration. Some stakeholders in the insurance sector have stated that the proposed recapitalizations will create the new barriers to entry, but could also be a benefit sector regardless of the outcome. A new bill entitled Nigeria Insurance Industry Reform Bill 2024 was introduced on the floor of the Senate recently, seeking to increase the minimum capital base of insurance companies. Through the National Assembly, the House of Representatives Committee on Banking and other ancillary institutions has called for the creation of a judicial task force specifically dedicated to the trial of cases involving Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria. This move is intended to expedite the resolution of cases by the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, many of which involve significant financial recoveries for the government. The task force aims to ensure that 350 directors representing over 80% of corporations' total loan account fulfill their financial obligations and contribute to the country's economic recovery. On News Cycle 4 News, Joe Biden says he's optimistic that a Gaza ceasefire deal can be reached amid the concerns that Iran may launch an attack on Israel for the assassination of Hamas leader Ismaili in Tehran. Biden said no one in the region should take actions to undermine this process. Hamas has expressed skepticism about the chances of a deal. And now doctors in India have begun a national strike against the rape and the murder of a female colleague in the West Bengal city of Kolkata. The Indian Medical Association, which is the country's largest grouping of doctors, says all non-essential hospital services will be shut down across the country. The association described last week's killing as a crime of barbaric scale due to the lack of safe spaces for women and asked for the country's support in its struggle for justice. President Faye of Senegal says his country's first satellite has been successfully launched into orbit, noting that the major marked a major step towards the West African country's technological sovereignty. The satellite was launched at 6:55 p.m. on Friday from the base in California. And as a sport news, Nigeria's representative in this year's Confederation of Football Champions Club competitions and the Enugu Rangers Remo Stars Eyimba Warriors will get $50,000 each as participation fees in the preliminary stages of the Champions League and the Confederation Cup. This is as Remo Stars and the Enugu Rangers are representing the country in the Champions League, while Eyimba will finish third in the MPFL, and the President Federation Cup winners Warriors are competing in the Confederation Cup. In a highly charged main event at the UFC 305, South African fighter Dricus retained his middleweight title, defeating Nigerian-born Israel Adesanya by submission in the fourth round. The grudge match, which had been fueled by the pre-fight tensions over his An identity culminated in a dramatic turn of events. Our places secured the victory with a rear neck choked. Adesanya, a former two-time champion, came into the fight determined to reclaim the belt he lost to Sin last September. And despite the trailing 2-1 on the scorecard heading in the fourth round, the players turned the tide with a series of playful, followed by decisive takedown. And our Chelsea manager Enzo Marquez has responded to the report linking the club with Napoli striker Victor Osimhen and Atletico Madrid forward João Felix. Maresca was cautious in his comment about potential transfers while speaking during the first pre-match press conference of the Premier League season ahead of the 2024-25 Week 1 with Manchester City. The Blues have been heavily linked with moves for both Osimhen and Felix as they look to bolster their attack for this season, with reports suggesting the recently had €45 million bid for Felix rejected by Atletico Madrid. And that is it on News Cycle. It came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365, Start Times channel 276, and free to air on NECOM South, and the parameters is now shown on the screen. For us on all distributed platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now shown on the screen. I am Edika Mike. Many thanks for watching and staying with us on News Cycle. See you again.